All right, welcome back everybody to the second inaugural Team Fi Webinar Wednesday, where we break down a slice of fundraising data. We help, our mission here, help you and your team fundraise for free or almost free. So every week we got this webinar. We're gonna break down some new fundraising data or content we're putting out. Then we'll do a quick demo of Team Fi, answer any questions from the crowd, and then wrap up. Real short, sweet, trying to do this every Wednesday. New this week, we're doing this at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I know we got a lot of our coaches are teachers. So that's very hard to make a 1 p.m. demo during the middle of the day. So we're trying the night slot. I know a lot of our coaches are in season, just getting home from practice. So no sweat. We're going to be doing this 52 weeks a year. So hop on when you can. We'll always be here. Z, anything you want to say before we jump in?
No, you covered it all. Ready to get going.
Sweet. All right. Well, so let's just jump in. We got the same slides as last time, a little bit better though, because we got new content this week. So I'm going to buzz through these. Here's our agenda for today. I just went through it in brief. So I'll give you a little background on Z and I, what we're trying to do. Then we'll discuss our content today, which our content's a follow-up on our survey data, which we talked about on our first ever webinar Wednesday. This one's follow-up. We split the survey data in two, and we said, hey, coaches over here had winning records last year. Coaches over here are everybody else. Were the trends that we discussed last week any different? So some of the takeaways are surprising. There definitely was a through line through all of it. So we'll get to that. That'll be the bulk of our call. Then we're going to do a demo. Like always, we'll do a quick showcase of our product. We just actually pushed some new features today that I think are pretty cool. So we'll talk through that. And then finally, we'll leave some time for Q&A. So that's all we got. Let's jump in. All right, so some quick background on us. My name's Kanon. This is my brother, Zeth. We're the Team Fi co-founders. We kind of have different roles within the company. It's just us, by the way. I do the kind of the back end in a lot of the content. Zeth does the front end in a lot of the content. So we're a good pairing. As you can tell by the way I'm dressed versus Zeth, I am not as cool or as fashionable. So I could not pull off the glasses. So Zeth does the front end, everything that you see on Team Fi, the website, Zeth's responsible for that. So we both graduated Lowell High School. So I know a lot of our crowd and our customer base is in Michigan. So you guys know where Lowell is, right off 96 there on your way to Grand Rapids. We both wrestled at Harvard. So I graduated like 5 years ago. He's a little younger, 2 years ago. So wrestling and football, that's the sports we're into. But of course, we like them all. We like all sports. So that's just a little bit about us. Z, did I miss anything? I kind of stole your thunder there with the intro.
No, you're good. One thing that I always just like to reiterate, when you hear the word co-founder, you assume, I don't know what you assume really, but Kanon and I are the ones building this product, right? So we're the ones, we've coded it. We're the ones taking feedback from coaches, and we're the ones implementing changes. So it's just us trying to build this product to be as good as it can be for you coaches. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear, right? We're not, there's no one else. It's just us, and that's our mission. So if you want to see features pushed or new things you didn't like, just talk to us, and we move code pretty quick, and we're ready to build this in whichever direction coaches want it.
That's a great point, Z. We're the ones that build it. We're the ones that sell it. We're the ones doing it all, man. So you are looking at a pair of 4 down backs, or 3 down backs, I guess would be the correct parlance. So
we're also on the punt team, is what Kanon.
Hopefully we're not punting. So I just got an update that I should not post a Zoom link to Twitter. So somehow Zoom identifies that. They said our meeting is at risk. So for everybody watching this, I did post it to Twitter. I probably won't do that next week because Zoom doesn't like that, but that just happened. So all right. That's enough. We're probably going over time on the intros here, but all right, we like to have fun here too. So what we do, Team Fi, baby. Why did Zeth and I get into this business? Why did we do this? Because we're sick of seeing you pay fundraising fees. Short and simple. We think 100% of all donations should stay in the program. Right now, if you use TeamFi, you actually keep 92%. But we're working on ways for you to keep even more of that. So stay tuned for that. That'll be an update here in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. But that's the point of the company. We want you to keep as much money as you can. That's what we're doing. That's why we got into this business. We've seen, our dad is a coach, high school football coach. He's paid 20, 30% fees. We don't think that's right. So that's a little bit about what TeamFi does. We've got a product out there that'll help your team raise hundreds of dollars per player, and it's almost free. So check that out. We'll give you a demo here at the end of the call. All right, let's jump into the meat of the discussion. That's why you're all here today. How winning programs do and don't do fundraising differently. Like I said, this is really a follow-on to the last call and to an ebook we just made available. So we did a survey of 100 coaches, slightly over 100, and we asked them, hey, what do you typically do for fundraising? And so we assembled all of that. We made some cool charts. We went over it on last webinar Wednesday. Now we're back. So you can go download this. We've got it on our blog. If you just click on our blog, you'll find the link and you can download it. But we're back with some follow-up data, and we split the survey data into two buckets: coaches who had winning records last year and coaches who did not have winning records last year. And we said, is there any differences? Are winning coaches doing anything differently? So there's actually three takeaways, and I think they're all kind of interesting. Takeaway number one: winning programs are not fundraising any more frequently. So this was probably the most surprising thing to me. So if I think about a winning program, I think they've got all the wheels greased, right? Doing everything right. They're winning games, right? But they got all the back end taken care of, and they're just fundraising all the time, right? Sweet, cool events, blowing it out of the water. Hey, not so fast. Yeah, maybe they are running cool events, but they're only running 2 a year. In fact, 2.0, it came out to 2.0 on the dot is the average number of fundraisers run per year by our cohort that had winning records last year. And when you compare that to the teams who had losing records the prior year, it's actually slightly higher, 2.3. So on average, coaches with winning records are fundraising less. It's a little counterintuitive if you ask me. Now, what explains this? Well, I thought one interesting theory behind it, again, hard to prove this, is that coaches that have winning records also, on average, tend to be a little more experienced. And if you're a little more experienced, perhaps you're not spreading yourself too thin trying to run every fundraiser under the sun. You've kind of got it nailed to, I'm going to do one fundraiser in the spring and one fundraiser in the fall, that sort of thing. That was one explanation I had. Z, I don't know if you have anything to add there, but that was just one thought I had when I looked at this graph. Again, I have nothing to prove it with.
No, I don't have anything to add. Another thing to consider too is that you might be saying to yourself, what is the variability here? But our N, or our number of coaches, is sufficiently high for both of these, probably around 50 coaches each. So I mean, with some number of confidence, we can say that this data is telling us something. And so I just wanted to make sure to add that.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, that's right. We did survey 100 coaches. You'd love to have 1,000 coaches, but that's not the kind of data we're working with yet. We will get there someday. But all right. Well, takeaway number 2. Let's jump down to it. So we just told you, winning programs are not fundraising any more frequently. Guess what? They're also not putting any more work into fundraising. So look at our first. This chart's kind of confusing, so just follow me. Look at the first bar here. Ranked from left to right is data from our original post last week, that ebook I just got done telling you about. Ranked from left to right are the types of fundraisers that are most common among coaches. So crowdfunding's number 1, golf outings second most common, discount cards third most common, that sort of thing, right? Look at crowdfunding. I think crowdfunding kind of has this reputation sometimes that, hey, look, it's kind of this quick, easy way to do things, but maybe it's not the state of the art, right? But look there's really no difference between coaches with winning records and coaches with losing records. They're both kind of running crowdfunding fundraisers at the same time, at the same frequency. So that's some interesting data. Actually, and this is kind of what again counterintuitive. Winning records. Take a look at bar 2 and bar 3 there. Winning record coaches are actually putting less work into fundraising. So if you think about golf outings, right? Those are probably the most labor intensive on here. Coaches in our second cohort there, the losing record coaches, were actually much more likely to run a golf outing than coaches with winning records. So again, you kind of get this through line of, hey, look, winning record coaches, they're not doing as many fundraisers. They're also not putting as much work into fundraising. So again, take that for what it's worth, right? We only surveyed 100 coaches, but I thought it was interesting. Kind of these commonalities are showing up through the data. Z, anything that?
The one thing I'd add is just on that fourth bar there, camps. Coaches with winning records are running sufficiently more camps or using camps sufficiently more for their fundraising. And I think that's a little bit telling, right? Coaches with winning records maybe have more consistent programs, have bigger and maybe better camps, bringing more kids in. And it's a sufficient source of fundraising income for coaches with winning records. And I would say that relative to the size of the bar, that is probably where the biggest disparity was in the data.
I think that's right, Z. And you just stole my thunder there, but that's point number 3. Winning programs, where they do differ, is their camps and events. And you see, look at the camps and then look at its sister, tournaments and events bar at the far right. Those are the 2 categories where green bars are higher than the purple bars. Coaches with winning records are doing those with much more frequency. Now, you're going to say to me, Kanon, everybody runs a camp. What are you talking about? Well, hey, look, they might run a camp, but they didn't report camping on a camp on the survey as a means of fundraising. So what does that mean? Probably means it's not making that much money for them. So again, and what Zeth said to build on this is coaches who run camps and they're successful. What does it take for successful camp fundraising? It means you have to have high participation. Well, what is a winning record coach more likely to have? High participation in his program vis-a-vis coaches with losing records. So I think there's all kind of this through line, right, of doing easier fundraising, taking the work off, being concentrated, right, that sort of thing, not running a lot of fundraisers a year. Z, anything to add?
No, all good.
So that's all my mumbo jumbo. I know I kind of ranted there at certain points, but that's kind of the key takeaways when you split the data like that into coaches with winning records and losing records. We have this post up on our website. Go to our blog, click on the link. You'll see the post. It's our second post, or it's our most recent post there. We'll also be converting this to ebook sometime soon. So if you want a PDF copy like this survey I just mentioned, that'll be available at some point. So anyways, that's all we got for the content today. If there are no questions from the audience, I'm going to jump into the demo portion of the call. All right, I got nothing. So let's jump into the demo. So we do on every Wednesday, like to do a little content. We also want to do a little demo. So here's our demo. We're going to show you Team 5. So let's jump to my screen right now. You can all see my screen. This is the landing page for Team 5. And you can see here, this is what a coach sees when they log into the platform. So you can see here, we've got your 5 steps across the top. Zeth designed this very well to make it very user-friendly and understandable. You can see here, you've logged in as a coach. You've already checked off step 1. Congrats. Nice work. You've got 5 more steps to do before you're live collecting money. So step 2, create your fundraiser. Hopefully it's obvious of what you need to click next here. Big green glowing button. Again, another Zeth Dean special there. That's what you need to click. But, and this is true for any time you're using the app, you can always click these helpful help buttons. Click it and you get a little tip. Oh yeah, this is what I need to do next. Great. So you do that. Okay, I need to click create fundraiser. You click that, we get this little pop-up. You get 5 quick questions. I'll fill them out as if I'm running my own fundraiser here. So I'm gonna say we're raising money for the Missouri Outlaws right now. We want to raise 10 grand. Oh, we want to raise money for new wrestling mats. We want to raise 10 grand and we're gonna leave everybody a note. So note from coach. So just play make believe with me there. That's a nice note. We're then gonna jump down, add a nice little logo here, and boom. We have now cleared step 2. We get a nice little notification. We created our fundraiser, and we're now on to step 3, inviting our players to join. Everybody, does that make sense to you? Any questions on that? Z, anything you want to add to getting step 2 done on the tool?
No. Yeah, I guess I'll say one thing. Before we move on to the next step, say you fill out that form incorrectly, you notice a typo, you add the wrong logo, you name it. You can always go back on that left-hand panel there and edit any of those fields you just added. So you can add a different photo, change your note from coach, change your fundraising goal, you name it. You can always go back and change that stuff. So none of this is final. So don't be fearful of that.
Yeah, let's change it to Zeth's headshot here. Look, the Missouri Outlaws. We got an outlaw right here
Yeah.
down on the screen. So
And that's honestly, it's a great point because that is where we notice probably the most changes. Honestly, you might guess it'd be like the note from coach or something, but it's really not. It's actually logos because a coach will upload a logo, realize, oh wow, similar to my headshot here, it's really low resolution or it doesn't quite fit the logo field properly, and so they'll go and switch out their logo. And you can always do that. You can even do that when the fundraiser is running if you want. So I just wanted to point that out.
that's a great point, Z. This is your outward facing, you're going to have, 5,000 page views on your fundraiser page. We know coaches want to represent their program with pride. So why not? Why would you put a crappy photo in there? So that's what this does. You can edit it anytime, that sort of thing. So, all right, inviting your players to join. This is very straightforward. And actually, this is a new feature we just pushed this week. We worked very hard at the last week to get this done. Again, props to Z. Sharing the sign up link. So you can share a link here. You see this? This is the link for your players to sign up. You can just drop it in a group chat if you got them all on your Remind app or your Band app, etc. But guess what? You can also share a QR code. That's new this week. So this QR code, if scanned, is going to take your players directly to the link I just showed you. You can also download it if you want to store it for later. Boom. I just downloaded it. Look at that. That's a beauty. So that's a new feature. That's one that's requested by a lot of our coaches. I think that's just going to make the app that much better and that much easier to use. So we're just going to use the share sign up link. We're already on a computer, so no need to complicate this. All right, so I just copied the sign up link. I'm now a player, so I'm logging in. Coach told me, hey, we're doing a fundraiser on Team 5 this year, the Missouri Outlaws. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to put in a little email address for myself, my name, and I got to set a password. So let's do that. Oh, my password fields didn't match. Bummer. All right. Let's sign in here and sign up. So boom, I just logged in as a player. You see it says welcome back, my name. And now we've got our 4 steps across the top here. Again, very similar to the coach's dashboard with the 5 steps across the top, although for players, it's only 4. So look at me. I've created my account. I've already passed step 1. I'm now on to step 2. I need to update my account info. Again, you're going to notice a theme here. Big green glowing buttons, which you need to click. Although I can use these help buttons if I need to, all I got to do is follow the green brick road, man. Glowing green brick road. So I'm going to click this, update my profile. I can edit my first or last name. And most importantly, I need a nice photo of myself. So let's come down here and let's just do Zeth's headshot again. That's easy. A little weird. Zeth's headshot is also the team logo, but Zeth's a nice guy, so I can see that. Now, boom, you've advanced past step 2. You're now on to step 3. You need to add your first contact. So the contact window is here. Again, follow the green brick road, baby. Very simple. You got to add contacts right here. Click the big green add contact button. Now, a couple things I'm gonna put forth to the group here. This is a key differentiation we've made here. For contacts, we do all text messages, no emails. Why do I do that? 2 reasons. 1, emails, they get lost in spam, thrown to junk. They're only opened at 20% rates. Text messages opened at like 90% rates, maybe even 95. Some people will tell you 95. So that's reason one. Reason two is more important. We know that kids have cell phone numbers, right? They don't have email addresses. Look at me. I'm 28. All right. I don't even have my grandma's email address. I don't have either of their email addresses. Now, maybe that's me. I'm a bad person. I don't know. I don't think I'm a bad person, by the way, but maybe that's a reflection of me, I'm saying. But still, I have both their cell phone numbers. I text them. And if I wanted to put them in here, I could very easily. I wouldn't have to go track down an email address. So we made that choice very early on. We think that makes player onboarding so smooth. So smooth. So, and to prove that to you, I'll just do step 3 here. I'm going to add my first contact. So I'm going to add grandma. I'm going to type in her number. I'm going to check that I know grandma, and I'm going to add her as a contact. Boom. She's been added. I get a little alert message here. Nice work. If I screwed it up at all, I can come down here and delete out grandma if I need to. But that's basically all the players asked to do. I'm not going to sit here and type in 19 more contacts, but you can see here we put a little goal of 20, and that's all we need them to do. Z, anything you'd add there?
No. Well, one thing that we've added, I guess, is just to make things easier on the players is we've added a grade. So you'll see that the participation grade is an F. So similar to grades you'd get in, in any high school class, we give grades out based on the number of contacts players add. So right now, Canon only has 1 out of 20. You can imagine if you get 1 question right out of 20 on a quiz, you're gonna fail that quiz. So in this case, we have an F. But if Canon puts in, 50 or 60% of his contacts, that might go up to a C, and then a B, and then an A, and then eventually, all your players hopefully will have an A, and that means that their participation is high, and your fundraiser is going to do well because of that.
That's right. Little guiding post there, just to let everybody know, hey, we're all shooting for 20 contacts, that sort of thing. All right, so that is what we asked the players to do. For the last part of the demo here, let's log back into our coach's dashboard, guys. So we don't just leave you hanging during this whole process. We actually, if we jump back to the coach's dashboard here, you'll see here, you're now on step 5. So look at where your bars come to. Big green glowing button, right? Follow the green glowing road. You're technically ready to activate, right? But the question is, should you activate? And so what we do here is we provide you the screen that says, hey, how ready are you to activate? Okay, I've had 1 player join. He's added 1 contact. And knowing what I know today, that contact is probably worth $10 to $11 to me. It's probably worth slightly more, but we give you this kind of low ball estimate, $10 to $11. Hey, if you started today, you would raise this much money. Well, probably saying to me, Canon, I don't get out of bed for $10. You're right. So the next question is, who do I have? Who are my knuckleheads that I got to go track down here? And so we give you this view, the roster view. You can filter it. It'll filter alphabetically, filter by number of contacts. I can click into Canon's thing. I can see, oh, he's added grandma and not much else. And this really gives you some tools here to manage your team and say, hey, look, okay, I got to go track down Canon and see what he's doing. When you are ready and you've tracked down Canon, his number's at 20, and this says a way better number, literally the only thing left for you to do is hit this green button and activate the fundraiser. So when you do that, you'll get a little warning message. Hey, you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I do. And boom, you're now live. Our texting automation has started. We're going to send out 4 texts. We're going to send out 1 every 4 days for the next 2 weeks. We do that. So day 1, a text goes out. Day 4, day 8, day 12 is our final text. We're short and sweet. I know a lot of other fundraisers that like to drag this on and just constantly berate people with emails. That's not us. We do a 2-week time frame, very quick, very precise. Shut it off after 2 weeks. Another thing, I just talked about berating people with emails. TeamFi takes pride in being a no spam platform. What do I mean by that? Well, first text that goes out is very clear. You can unsubscribe anytime. Text back stop to stop receiving the messages. That's at the bottom of each one of our text messages that gets sent out. around 1%, 1 in 100 will text back stop. It's not a big deal, but we like being upfront. Guys, we only want to hear from you if you really want to donate. We're not going to berate you into donating. That's one. Two, if you donate, you will no longer receive a text. So if you donate on text 1, you're not getting text 2, 3, or 4. Again, I know a lot of other guys, a lot of other platforms out there, they'll just freaking send emails weekly for 28 days. That's not going to be us. Never us. We stop asking you once you donate. So that's a little bit about us. That's what happens after you click go. Again, after you click go, that's all you got to do. We give you these share tools here if you want to share your team's page to Twitter or Facebook, or just skip the link to the page. But that's literally all you got to do for TeamFi. Z, anything you'd add there?
Yeah, I'll kind of segue into the next portion. So onboarding is obviously the largest part of your fundraiser, right? If your participation from your players is not high, if you add a logo that maybe isn't reflective of your team, that means, you might get not as many donations if people don't recognize it, so all of that onboarding is really important. But, our mission to give the coach, ultimate transparency and allow them to really control their own fundraising destiny doesn't end with onboarding. So once you click activate, as Kanon has here, you're going to get live updates here on that fundraiser performance overview. So right now we're in fundraiser progress metrics. And that's one of 3 sort of sets of metrics we provide. So you're going to get a live update of your current raise, how many donators, your average donation per contact. Then you're also, if you click to fundraiser duration, you're going to get live sort of longevity statistics. So how many days live, if we come back to this screen 24 hours from now, it's going to say 1 day live, how many text rounds sent, total text sent. And you might be wondering, well, why are no text rounds sent, or why are no texts sent? Usually it takes a couple hours for everything to process. So if we were to log back in and check here in a couple hours, we'd see, there's only 1 contact in there. So we've sent 1 text, and that equates to 1 round. And then you're also going to see, when your next text round goes out. So because we activated today, our next round's going out on the 5th. And, once a text round does go out, you'll always know when the previous round went out. And so because your team's donations are really going to follow those text waves, it's going to give you sort of a high-level overview of when you could expect large bumps in your fundraiser, so you can continue tracking towards your projection metrics, which are in the 3rd tab. So you can always go back here and see sort of what we projected for your fundraiser before you hit go. So as your fundraiser duration is going, you can compare that to where maybe we project you to be at. So if you feel like you're falling behind, or you might not hit that goal, we're going to bet that that's not the case. And for 99% of our fundraisers, they surpass sort of the projection that we give, which is an important thing that we take pride in. But if you ever feel like, oh, geez, we might be falling behind, you can continually add players and contacts throughout the duration of your fundraiser. So if you say, oh, wow, we're not going to get anywhere near where we want to raise, but we didn't add any of our JV players, or we didn't add any of our freshman players, you can do that halfway through your fundraiser, have them add contacts to continue towards that goal that you have. So sort of a lot there, but I wanted to make sure we walked through all of the transparency that you'll have throughout the process.
That's a good walkthrough, Z. I know you felt like that was a lot, but I think it was useful and necessary to kind of show, hey, look, these are the tools we give you to manage your fundraiser. So that is all for our platform demo today. Guys, thanks for those who tuned in. Thanks for those who signed up. I know a lot of people signed up and couldn't make it tonight. We're going to send them all the recording. We're going to also send them the slides. So look out for those in your inboxes. And guys, stay tuned for next week. All right. We're doing this every week. Webinar Wednesday next week. Guess what? The topic's going to be another great stuff coming out of our survey. Guess what the title is? Your zip code matters. We're going to break down what you can reasonably expect to fundraise based on various zip code data. So a lot to do with that, lot to unpack. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun topic. I'm a data nerd. I love this stuff. So we're gonna break it down. Again, it'll be like 10 to 15 minutes. Then we'll do a demo. Then we'll have questions. So please, if you signed up this week and couldn't make it, check back in next week, Wednesday at 8. I think this is going to be our time. So that's all for me. Z, I don't know if you have anything else to say, but with that, I'll sign off.
The only thing I will add is be on the lookout for our September product update email that we're going to send here this week sometime. Not sure on a specific day, but we're just going to break down everything that we pushed in our latest update yesterday. And there's a lot of I know we touched on a couple things today, but there's actually a lot more than that. So if you're curious about how we're evolving the product, that will lay out the updates in a lot of detail. So be on the lookout for that.
Thanks, Z. Great point. Look out for that email coming out. We just pushed a lot of code. We're pushing a lot more code in the next 2 weeks, too. So fun stuff coming out. Stay tuned, guys. All right. Talk to everyone soon. This is Webinar Wednesday. I'm out.